Welcome back, everybody. This is take 4. I keep running long because there's so much to talk about when you want to talk about saws. I'm going to run through this. One of the reasons why I don't know much about hand saws and the sharpening is because we never did it. My master entrusted his saws to a professional saw sharpener. And guess what that taught me? That taught me to entrust my saw, this saw I've had all my life, to professional handsaw sharpeners. Now, types of saw: rip, crosscut. If you don't know the difference between ripping and crosscut, let me basically explain it this way. Ripping is like having a steel plate with a bunch of chisels, and those chisels are slightly offset to each other, and they chisel through the long grain of the wood. All right? It would go with the long grain of the wood. If, however, you need to crosscut, a crosscut saw is basically a knife or a bunch of knives set back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all along the saw plate. And they are meant to go across the grain, severing the long grain fibers. That is why when you have a properly sharpened and set rip saw, the shavings look like curls. Crosscut looks more granular. So that's rip and crosscut. Now, when it comes to filing teeth, a rip saw, the teeth generally are straight up and down on their face. Okay? That would be a 0-degree rake. Straight up and down. This is where it meets the wood, right there. Okay? If you were to file it with that face pointing forward like this, that's a positive rake. If you file them leaning back, that's a negative rake. This is a neutral cut. This is an aggressive cut. This is a light cut. Different reasons you want to do different things. Almost always, though, for our purposes, we're going to file straight up and down and square across. So this is a rip saw. I would bring my file in level. I'd be filing square across and level, not tilted in any way. With a crosscut, because we're creating knives, we not only have to angle the cut of the file in both directions, every other one, we also need to lean them down. That's the Fleam, F-L-E-A-M. So as I showed here, you're going crisscross, you're filing all one way, and you're filing all the other way from the other side. And you're leaning it down, creating all these little knife edges up here. All right? So that's crosscut. Both rip and crosscut share something called set. Set, okay, this is your saw plate. And here are your teeth up here. Set is where you, okay, where you bend every other tooth in the opposite direction. How much you set them will determine how aggressive the cut. So, if I'm a timber framer and I just need to cut something and it doesn't have to have a smooth finish, I might have a little more set. If I'm making dovetail boxes and I'm using a tenon saw, I want the finest set down to the thousandths of an inch. Okay? That's why oftentimes a good saw sharpener knows you have a dovetail saw. They will sharpen it, set it, then they will stone both sides with a sharpening stone to a certain number of thousandths on each side of the plate. That way you get a sharp, smooth cut that goes perfectly straight up and down. It doesn't wander and so forth. So we talked about rip, crosscut, set, rake, and lastly here would be we'll talk about one more time about what this is here. You have your cutting faces and you have your gullet. This is a gullet. The gullet is where your shavings go. The perfect saw will have a gullet large enough to accept the sawdust that is created by that size tooth in order to eject it out when you're sawing. It goes out past the end of the board and falls out. Last thing, if you're going to try sharpening yourself, do it on a rip saw. It's the easiest saw to sharpen. First thing you have to do is get a mill file, and you need to level the tops of each tooth. If your saw is really badly out, you may have to do this in a few steps, a few different sharpenings. Once you hit the high spots, you'll create little shiny spots on tips on the high teeth. Then you begin your sharpening. Whether you go from one end to the other doesn't matter. And when you're sharpening, you will sharpen down until that shiny spot goes away. When that shiny spot goes away, you stop. Because if you keep filing, you're going to make a shorter tooth. And you do that for all the shiny tips, and then you're done. And you use the saw. Of course, if it's properly set, or you have to set it and adjust. So that's about it, everybody. If I have any additional information, I'll leave it in the description box. I'm not an expert at saw sharpening. There's some better guys out there, much better guys out there than me. But I did want to touch base on this because I have these saws that I'm parting with. And I thought, okay, we talk about planes all the time, but we never really talk about saws. A lot of this terminology carries over to circular saws. Because most of us have power saws. And the teeth that go on the outside of your circular saw will also have, if they're carbide, they're not set like we talked about bending. They're set by grinding. It's a little different. But you also will create clearance by the shape of the tooth. You will have either rip, or you will have crosscut, or you'll have combo. Okay? Now, the rake is important in circular saws almost more than hand saws because too aggressive of a positive rake and you'll be ripping your wood up. Too much of a negative rake and you can burn. So it's quite elaborate, but everything I talked about here applies to circular saws as well. And you need to choose the right circular saw blade for the wood and the task. Now, I always kept an alternating top bevel, ATB, as my general purpose blade in my table saw. because I could crosscut with it. I could rip generally with it. But if I had to do a lot of ripping, I would take that out and I'd put in my rip blade, which is basically nothing more than a piece of circular steel with a bunch of chisel tooths on there. They're just square across, chick, 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 chiseling right through the wood. So, hope you found something useful, helpful, interesting. If you did, give it the old thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share, and come on back. The theme this year is keep it sharp. Walter out.